welcome to this Twin Flames 2.0 series. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into the different waves of this twin flame journey. There are already, I think, 2 or 3 teachings in this series on the podcast and on YouTube. Before we jump into all of that, though, I want to thank you all for joining me here, whether you're newly arriving in the TLC for the Soul community or whether you've been an ardent watcher or listener for quite some time. I welcome you back as we take another step in the twin flame journey. And before we do that, too, I want to just get us all into cozy sacred space and wrap us all in love light and light love, inviting in the spirit guides who overlight this work, overlight TLC for the Soul, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, the Pleiadians, and on our Twin Flame 2.0 journey, Archangel Chamuel. And I have a host of twin flame guides, wolf shifters, dragons, dolphins that are part of my spirit guide community that are joining us here in this now. I also invite in the higher self of my twin, along with you all, your higher selves, and the higher selves of your twin flames. If this is the first in the series that you're coming to, I do invite you to kind of start at the beginning. We've already talked about in past shows, taking it from all levels, because those of you that are engaging with me as a spiritual teacher, as a guide, and engaging with this content come from all different waves of the twin flame journey. Wave 1, which is the very beginnings, all the way to wave 3, which is kind of, you're just about ready to meet your counterpart in the 3D in this lifetime. There's other definitions to wave 3, but wave 3 is kind of like, what is it kind of like the culmination of the journey and all you've learned up until this point. So we've already done a show on what is a twin flame. We're working with that from learning how to scan energy and see the energy of what the twin flame connection is. And so Spirit has come in, the guides that overlight this show have come in, the twin flame guides, and gave us a channeling. So this is all channeled. This is all stuff that you can read. So one of my spiritual gifts is clairaudience. It's how I write all of the material for these shows. It's how I write all of my books, fiction and nonfiction. It's just like automatic writing. I just go into sacred space, invite in the guides, and type what I hear in my mind, basically. So there's no planning of chapters and all of that. But we are working on a workbook that will eventually become a book for this twin flame stuff. So all of the channelings that we talk about in each show are up on my blog. Links to everything I talk about are always in all the show notes, no matter where you're at or where you're coming from and engaging with this content. And so we've talked about what is a twin flame. We've done a show on the soul signature of the twin flame, which is how to use your spiritual gifts, be it clairsentience, clairaudience, whatever it is, to scan the energy field of different types of relationships that you have in your inner circle, in your circle. And there's only one twin flame, and so that special twin flame energy soul signature has a certain feeling to it. And we teach you how to scan the energy of anybody that you're working with, anybody that you are in a relationship with, to determine where that connection is coming from. So that's a very important show. If you haven't watched that one, that's episode 2. And then I think, I may have to go and look where we did If you're on YouTube, all of this content is on my Loveland Tarot channel. You may be on the channel engaging with the content from there. But there's a Twin Flames 2.0 playlist. So we've done 2 shows so far. So we're going into the waves on this one. So we've done what is a twin flame and what is the twin flame soul signature. That's a playlist on Loveland Tarot. If you are engaging with this content on the podcast, there's many different podcast providers. I don't engage with them all directly, but my podcast is hosted by Spotify. So on Spotify, I do have playlists set up for a lot of different content that the show has been doing in the past. And we have a Twin Flames 2.0 playlist out there on Spotify. I just saw 555 on the timer. And so I want to welcome you in from wherever you're at. And the next thing we're going to do is read the channeling of what the different waves are, the definition of waves of the twin flame journey. And we're going to dive into wave 1 in a little bit more depth and show you some cards for just get a little reading for you if you're this wave 1, in this wave 1. And then subsequent show we'll do wave 2 and wave 3. And then after that, I will start doing content every month and updates based on waves, wave 1, wave 2, and wave 3, or we could end up doing collective stuff as well, just as we're guided to do. So let's get into the channeling about where are you on the journey. And I'm just going to read this, and I know you're not looking at me right now. That's fine. If you're on the thing, you're just looking at cards, it's fine. It's okay. Just close your eyes and listen to the content, and we will get to the cards. And if you're on the podcast, you're not looking at anything other than whatever's in front of you. So just listen with your master senses, your master eyes and ears, and your heart. As you engage with this content, let it download, let it surround you, call in your own spirit guides, come into sacred space with all of these shows that we do. That is the intent here, that we're in sacred space, that we're having fun. It doesn't have to be so serious, because this twin flame journey, what I've experienced so far, like, it can be very serious, it can be very emotional, it can be very hard. But it doesn't have to always be so. There can be levity and fun and light and love and magic attached to it as well. So let me read this. It's very short. Where are you on the journey? This is coming straight from the guides. We would like to offer up some clarity about what we'll call the different waves of the twin flame journey. This will give you a definitive idea about how far along you are in the process of alchemizing yourself to align to the energies of the twin monad. The twin monad is an overarching etheric soul body comprised of all the twin souls who are consciously on their twin flame journey. Remember, anyone and everyone, human and non-human, has a twin counterpart. This monad we're referring to is made up of the twin human souls currently and consciously aware that they are on the twin flame path. Not every human will awaken to this path in this lifetime, and not every twin flame couple will complete the 3 waves of this journey in this lifetime for varied and overly complex reasons, it could be readings too, outside the realm of this teaching. So needless to say, it's a complex journey. Everybody's journey is slightly different, but the key similarities are what's coming out in these teachings. And then, we have to dive deeper for you individually, and we can get into that more as we go along. So we're going to go into wave 1. Wave 1, this is the very first inkling and the beginnings of the journey. One will feel that there is another, quote unquote, out there somewhere just for them. You might be led to a particular spiritual teacher or teachings about the journey. Thoughts, emotions, and deep waves of energy start to emerge from within the astral bodies, emotional, mental, physical, and within the chakras about the connection. You will feel compelled to seek out more information, and it is at this point where you may doubt yourself and your own mental wellness as your mental conscience attempts to wrap its mind around what this all really means. Our advice to you is to seek out the teachings and a teacher who most resonate with you and learn as much as you can about what it means to be a twin flame. However, use wise discernment as there is much misinformation and misunderstanding about the twin flame experience. If something feels off to you, drop into your heart space and ask your spirit guides and higher self to show you the way. The appropriate information will be shown to you exactly when you need it. The length and breadth of the Wave 1 journey is not set in stone and differs for each and every twin flame connection out there. As such, we don't provide timelines for how long this wave will take. It all depends on you, your free will choice, your impetus to get in there and do the work it's going to take to move you forward, and on your own soul's divine blueprint. Our best advice is take it easy, take it slow, and give yourself the time you need to heal and integrate the teachings, healings, and information you've been provided. So let's go ahead and pull some cards for this Wave 1 journey. I think they'll just serve as confirmation for you as well as encouragement that this all really is a real thing. And what I'm noticing here too is, this is if you're watching this, I didn't light the candle yet. So I find that everything that happens during a session, a show, is part of the show. So twin flames, Wave 1 is the beginning of the journey, and that's when the spark, as I light the candle for those of you listening, first ignites. And you first get these inklings. Like I've gotten DMs, direct messages from some of you out there, messages either through my Instagram or through email, like, am I a twin flame? Or is there a twin flame out there for me? And those of you that are asking those questions, those of you are, golly, why am I talking so weird, are in Wave 1. The first inklings of like, gosh, could there be this kind of magical connection out there for me? You know, what is that? What does that feel like? Who is this person? Where are they? Oh, yeah. Want to know more, need to know more. You know, that's Wave 1. So I've got a couple of decks, and I ordered some new decks for this twin flame work. Really fun one coming in probably in a couple of weeks, and then we can start doing our wave readings. I did also post, just before I draw more cards, I just did a twin flame status update for, is it the next 3 months? Let me just check. Where are you on the journey? A June status report. So they're going to have me do status reports every quarter. And so I just did one. It's a pick a card reading. And it's funny because even on the podcast, people really do listen to and engage with all the pick a card readings. So if you're on the podcast, especially I know on Spotify for sure, when I put the timestamps for the pick a cards, Spotify does break those up into chapters, and they are selectable based on like pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Same thing with Loveland Tarot. The Twin Flame status reports are now in their own playlist. And so June is the very first one that we did. So if you're interested on the June status report, is like a collective message for all twin flames, and then a pick a card. And we were doing the pick a cards you just picked, and that was kind of your message depending on your wave. So we may change that moving forward. But let's get a couple of cards from my deck. I'm coming in on the camera if you're watching this from Forest of the Wolf. And it's just up here in North Dakota. It's almost the end of June 2023 as I'm recording this. And it's like a very rainy day. It actually was, when I started recording this, I was going to say, hey, from the Pacific Northwest. I'm like, oh, wait, I'm not there. I'm not on the West Coast anymore. But it does feel like Oregon weather to me. I used to like to vacation a lot on the Oregon coast. And this is what I call like my Oregon coast weather, where it's like 50s, 60s, kind of rainy and gray. And if there was a giant ocean, there would be like really big, fun waves. And even if it was rainy and gray, you'd still be hanging out on the beach, wandering around. All right, Force of the Wolf. What do we want to say for our Wave 1 friends? Okay, the first card out of the deck is Pack Notes. You've tried and tried to get this feeling to stop, but you just can't seem to shake it. You know that if you give into it, then you will be left behind, and you don't want that. You want to be part of a pack, so you put your best foot forward and try once again. This is pretty much the whole journey. I don't know why, and maybe it's just for me, and maybe every one of you listening has something different that comes up, but there's this set of spirit guides that comes in specifically for twin flames, and wolves and the wolf pack are one that always come up very strongly, and the lone wolf journey is what started for me when I began my Wave 1, which I don't even remember when that was now, 3 or 4 years ago. And had me create this Forest of the Wolf deck because the lone wolf, I think, is kind of how you feel when you're in Wave 1. It's like you're this soul, you're out there, but you just know there's someone out there just for you, and you want to understand more about what that is, but you're not quite sure. You don't have a lot of information yet, and so you're just being guided by the guides. And you'll end up with your own set of like twin flame guides, and they may be different than your regular guides. And depending on how spiritually into this you are, you could have this whole team of guides that's just specific to your twin flame journey. So here at TLC for the Soul, we're all about the guides and working with spirit friends. And so there's many, many guides. And we do have some that just specifically seem to show up for different bodies of work. And the wolf pack is, like I said, a big one. And this whole journey is about putting your best foot forward and just keeping on, as it's a healing journey. It's a healing path. It's not an easy one. Honestly, it's not. It's probably the hardest bit of healing work I've ever had to do. I mean, all the other stuff like some of it is part of it, but outside of the twin flame journey, if you were just working with like inner child stuff or shadow work or past life healing that was not necessarily specific to twin flame stuff, like healing the father wound or healing persecution wound or something from past life, it's the same, but it's not. It's like it's very intricately woven into the design of the twin flame journey, and the healing work that's done there, it's like you're doing it, and at the same time your twin flame counterpart is doing, like you're mirroring each other in this journey. And it could be unbeknownst to you in Wave 1, like you may not totally get it, like what's happening to me is kind of happening to them in their life. And when I start on my Wave 1, they're starting on their Wave 1. And you may just get the first inklings of like, maybe I'm not a little lone wolf anymore. Like I may be in separation. And we will go into more about the definitions of like, what is separation and what is all this. But I may be in separation from my twin, meaning I'm not in physical 3D contact with them. I know them from past lives. I know what their soul, their energy feels like within and around me. But I have not, most of you coming to me have not, most of you that are going to resonate with the work here on this channel have not come into 3D contact with your twin flame counterpart in this lifetime yet. I'm getting a very specific group of you that are coming down a very specific path that I've come down, and it may be different than other twin flame journeys and other twin flame teachers that are out there. That's kind of like why the guides are saying, like, if you resonate with a teacher, stick with that teacher for a little bit and learn what you need to learn from them, because chances are your journey resonates because it's very similar to the journey that your teacher is on. And so I will say that the journey that I'm on right now is all of the healing work that needs to be done for you to come into alignment with your twin happens. Yeah, I'm getting big chills there. That's a moniker of this channel too. So many chills. But all that work is done before you meet them in the 3D. It's a little bit why it's called Twin Flames 2.0, because it's kind of like an upgrade version of the twin flame experience, where you don't go through all of that hullabaloo with your twin flame in the 3D, where you're in and out of separation, like all these things you may hear about in other places. It's like this journey with me as this teacher for you. If you resonate with this work, then you are on a journey, you are on the twin flame path, where you are going to do all your healing work alongside your twin in the 5D until you align, until spirit feels like you are aligned, and then you will meet them in the 3D. And hence all of that work has been done, and you jump very quickly from reunion into union. Because you've already, but yeah, I'm getting me chills. You've already, that's just spirit telling me, like, yep, that's right. You've already done all the work that you needed to do up front, and you may have done it with other partners, catalysts, soulmates, to prepare you for, oh my God, so many chills. My body is just like one big chill pill. To prepare you for the reunion with your twin in this lifetime. It's a very different type of journey, no less or more important than anybody else's journeys out there or the way it works for anybody else. This is just the one that I'm on. And I did not start out wanting to be on a twin flame journey. I didn't know what it was. I really had no idea. I thought I was already on a path with a partner, and that was where I was going to be. And then my whole world got flipped upside down, like in I don't even know when it started, but my wave one kind of started in 2019 or so, 2018, 2019. And everything kind of like started to come in. So just trust what you're feeling, and know that you're not alone. There's others out there that are doing this alongside you. And there's those of us like myself that have done this successfully so far and are here to help guide you. And that was the other thing. It's like Loveland Tarot was not supposed to be some sort of twin flame channel. It was just a place that I wanted to play with my decks that I create and do readings for you guys. And Spirit just kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. And every time I went to do a reading, it turned into like a twin flame reading. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm supposed to be doing twin flame work. Hence where this teaching series is coming in now. So watch for how things evolve for you on your own path. Because it could take you from just I'm a wave one to, whatever, you're working with other twin flames, or you're helping other people understand what's going on, or it's a very niche place to be, this. And so to have people that are able to understand it and walk the walk and talk the talk is, from Spirit's perspective, kind of important right now as we guide others to their own reunion and unions. All right, so I'm going to grab a card from, what is it called? Psychic Tarot of the Heart by John Holland. This is the deck we use in the series for relationship healing and kind of just whatever. Just kind of working on all the work that you're going to need to do to get yourself into alignment. So what do my Wave 1 friends need to know? My Wave 1 friends need to know. The card we got is card number 5. Win or lose. But it's a giant, a very big sword sticking out of the ground. And the sword has a heart in the, what is that called? Like scap, in the hilt. Is it the hilt? I don't know this card. I would have said it was the Ace of Swords, but it's not. So let me just, and we do like to read from the guidebook for this deck because it's a really good teaching deck for what's going on here. So let's just find this. It's not mental. Is it? Yes, win or lose. So this is the, in the traditional tarot, this is the Five of Swords. Keywords: disagreement, ego, detach, and love. Often in matters of the heart, people find themselves in disagreement, set against one another in a battle of wills. Ego takes the place of intellect. Greed overtakes generosity. The love in the relationship is forgotten in the desire to win. But where there's a winner, there's also a loser. The partners are no longer equals, and the relationship can falter or completely break down. At this time, be cautious about letting your ego trick you into acting in your own self-interest, especially at someone else's expense. If another person is trying to provoke you, do your best to remain detached. Solve disagreements in a way that makes everyone a winner. Find the middle ground where each person yields just a bit, but just enough. Let love be your guide in dealing with conflicts around matters of the heart. In the end, it's not winning that matters. It's the love. All right, I see many different things here with this card. To me, when I see a big giant sword like that, it's always a moniker of Archangel Michael, and that you're very, very guided and protected on this journey. It's not for the faint of heart, and while and it may not be easy. We talked about you. If you're here with me on this one, then we talked about the fact that you're doing all of your work that you need to come into alignment with your twin. You're doing it with other people. Could be a catalyst, so it could be some sort of romantic partner that Spirit is having us call a catalyst that pushes you by, disagreements and ego battles and all that to face your shadows, face your core wounds, face the key things that you need to learn in this lifetime in order to come in alignment with your counterpart. But in the end, those people, love them, like them or not, are here for a specific purpose as well. They are here as your teachers and your guides. Remember I said you have different guides for different things. They are here as your teachers and guides. Part of the soul contract that was made before you incarnated into this physical 3D person that you are. Roles were set. And some people signed up to be the bad guys, quote unquote, the bad guys. And are here to teach you these things. And it's just not easy. It's not easy. You will learn about unconditional love. You will learn a lot about Christ consciousness, unity consciousness on this journey. You will learn about loving your brother like yourself. And you will learn to come to terms and come into peace and serenity around others who in the past you thought were just here to provoke you and make you angry and piss you off, and bring you sometimes to your knees in supplication to Source and to your guides. All those people, all those souls are here for a purpose, and they're here to help grow you. And while they may not come along on your ride to the very end, and some of them may and some of them may not, some of them may be left behind because a lot of times these other souls have chosen not to grow and ascend along with you. That's where they get left behind, and that's where you spring forward to come into alignment with this truly magical, multidimensional, unconditional love that is the love of the twin flames. And it's one of those that's, I guess, sometimes in your heart, in your heart, it may feel like almost like a too good to be true kind of thing. But these types of unions are happening all the time now, more so than before, because of the frequency and the vibration of the planet being high enough to be able to support that type of a union. And just because it's God's gift to humanity to allow you to have your counterpart and your twin along with you, so that you can help each other be the best soul that you can be in this lifetime, during this golden age, this new golden age of Gaia and of humanity. So it's not win or lose. It's how you play the game. All right, so I'm going to get one more card because I want to try to keep these episodes not too long. I'm going to get a card from Mystic Martian Oracle because many of you here are starseed twin flames. And this deck's kind of fun and just offers a little levity sometimes. There are some serious cards, but I think it's more fun to what's going on. Let's get a final card for my Wave 1 friends. Some words of encouragement for those of you in Wave 1. If you're looking at the video, this is the deck. It's very fun. It's got bright green, almost neon green border. All right, what else for my Wave 1 friends? And then we will wrap up this teaching. Oh, we got 2 cards. Oh, this is so good. We got card number 27, crop circles, messages, curiosity, and signs. And we got card number 10, tall grays, utilitarian, organized, and intimidating. So the crop circles and the signs and the synchronicities and the serendipity and the messages and the telepathy and all of that are part of this twin flame journey, more so than anything I've experienced so far. You will get so many signs because they're coming from your guides, but they're also coming from your twin's higher self. This telepathy, this this abundance of, you may have your own special numbers and they may change throughout the journey, but right now for me it's the 22s, the 22s, the 222. Every time I see that, it's a ping from my twin's higher self, like a, hello, I love you, I'm here with you kind of a thing. So pay attention. Like I said, use your master senses to see the magic of the journey, as well as the fact, that it is a bunch of healing stuff that could really throw you off course sometimes. Tap into the magic of it. Sit in repose with your twin in the 5D and just have, like an afternoon tea or something, and have fun with it as well. Because I think that is the hardest part of this particular path that we're walking through here, is for the divine feminine, there's no physical 3D evidence that this person really exists. And part of your learning experience on the way is to trust in the divine, trust in source, trust that there is this divine plan, that there is actually a real 3D person out there who wants to connect with you, and you get it all through the signs. Now, if you're the divine masculine on this twin flame journey, on this particular path that we're talking about here, then you may already know who this person is. Like Spirit may have already shown you someone, or you may just have this inkling that there's someone out there. And your whole journey is about bridging the confidence gap of realizing, is this really real? Could this amazing person, because it always seems like the person is really amazing, could this amazing person really, maybe no, I can't possibly believe that person is meant for me. No, and there's all the doubt and the indecision, because at some point, it's always on the twin flame journey, the divine masculine that steps forward to reunite with the divine feminine. And so there's a whole path for the divine masculine, and that may be where we go next here after we do the waves, is we talk about the divine feminine path versus the divine masculine path. So each one of you can understand what the other is going through. But let's look at this Grays card. Tall Grays come from Zeta Reticuli. Sounds so Star Trekky. Star system in the Orion constellation, though some have made suggestions that they may have come from the Andromeda galaxy, which is even further away. Others even speculate they could be a future evolution of the human race returning here, or an alien race from the future that has traveled back in time. They are somewhat similar in appearance to short grays, only much taller, and some have slightly more noticeable nose. This body descriptions. The tall grays are lanky with elongated, spindly limbs and an ectomorphic body, and can stand anywhere from 6 to 8 feet in height. Like the short grays, some have 4 fingers, others have 3. The tall grays have been associated with the abduction phenomenon and are usually described as hostile, bitter, and cold. They also largely work under Alpha Draconian dominance and mind control. Many are now clones. Some blame the tall grays for the unexplained cattle mutilation phenomena. Some tall grays are positioned in scientific MyLab genetic laboratories and secret military negotiation departments. They are telepathic, psychic, and have an intimidating presence. The tall grays operate and function in a utility hive mind, Borg-like culture where individual thought is near non-existent. And the card meaning is order, utilitarian, organized, rigid, uniformity, intimidating, obedience, militant, and non-approachable. What do we want to say about the tall grays? You know, here's what I'm going to say about this card. And you know you can't see the card if you're listening, but it's like a tall gray, and there's like a human on like an MRI table or something, you know, because they're supposed to be doing experiments on people. And there's all these like clones in little like pods behind them. I think the message here, the one that Spirit's trying to convey, is you may feel like you're being put through the ringer. You may feel like you are on this ride that you can't get off of. You may feel like Spirit is maybe punishing you in some way on this journey. You may feel like you are some sort of subservient being to Source. It may feel like you are on this merry-go-round that you can't get off of. And I have noticed there have been times on the journey where I've been like that. You will get to points on the journey where you will be like, why are you doing this to me? Like to Source, you may be like, you may get mad, like at Source, like, why are you doing this to me? Why are you making me go through this? All of this, you know, whatever it is, whatever words you want to put to it, because the healing work sometimes can feel like pain and suffering and sadness and dredging up old crap and dealing with people who are somebody that you don't want to deal with, but they're put there to make you learn. And there are many times in the journey where I've been like, get me off this merry-go-round because I'm done with this. I don't want to do it anymore. I've had enough. And I have found that this is one merry-go-round that does not stop for you to get off. You just have to keep going until you have learned the lessons, done the work, and come into reunion with your twin. I just can't put it any other way. You can walk away from the work for a little while, but then you just kind of slow yourself down. If you're like, that's it, I'm not doing any more soul work. Because I find at that point, the people that are here to push you, the catalysts and all that, like come in even stronger. It's like, damn it. You know, they're saying, you told me there's no timelines. I want to get off this merry-go-round. Now, I'm not saying every day is, you know, belligerent, obstinate people showing up to like push your buttons. I find it comes in waves around certain cycles and rhythms of the planet, lunar cycles, planetary cycles seem to be very prevalent on this journey as to when these big areas of healing come in for you. And other than that, you know, it's not smooth sailing. It's smooth sailing. Other than that, you know, you're free to move about the cabin. I don't know how else to put it. So I will say that there are going to be those times when you're like screaming at source or your guides or the angels, like, what the heck are you putting me through? Why are you doing this? I feel like it's the, why are you doing this to me? And one of my classic ones is, what more could you want me to do? I've done everything I can possibly do. And just when you say that, it's like, oh, no, you haven't. There's more. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. So I will just be, I cannot sugarcoat it. I have to be like upfront and real, but at the same time, I want to add the levity to it, and the laughter, and the like coyote spirit animal, which is all about fun, and trickstery, having fun with it. Just to say, hey, you can choose how you want to see it. You can walk through it. It could be many years. You could walk through it like with a grimace on your face. Like, why are you punishing me on this journey? But ultimately, when it comes down to it, before you incarnated, you're the one that decided that this was the lifetime you were going to do this work. So the work is very important for your soul. It's not a punishment from source. It's soul growth, and it's going to walk with you through many, many lifetimes moving forward. So just get in there and get the dang work done, right? And we will try to show up for you with, grace and levity and compassion and understanding. So is there anything else? I'm asking my guides. All right. So that is all we have for you about this wave 1. And we will be back next on the series with wave 2. So I want to thank you all so much for joining me here. We will see you all again soon. Take care.